Welcome back to Let's Get Tipsy.
I'm Priscilla.
I'm Fernando. And this is a podcast where we get a little tipsy, talk about different topics because
we can.
Because we can.
Fernando, what did you think? Well, we're going to jump right in because we're actually
on a time crunch today. So
we're locking in.
We're locking in.
But actually, I do have some yaps in me. We both need lobotomies because why are we delayed for everything? This podcast was supposed to start 2 hours ago.
It really did, but I mean, when we get together, we just start yapping about other stuff.
And it's gotten worse over time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But we're back. We are reviewing season 3
of Attack on
Titan.
And it is so much to unpack.
Oh my god.
Fernando, I just want to know your reactions. Like, what did you think when you were watching it? Because when I was watching, because I watched this like years ago, so I was watching like 38 recaps and seeing it, and I was like, he watched this in a single night.
I did. I literally watched it like last night. I stayed up until 5 a.m. watching season 3. But let me just tell you, so much happens that even after it, I was like, wait, do I need a recap? Because, like, what happened at the beginning? Because how did we get here, low-key? But
we're going to figure it out.
So much happened. Yeah.
Because I think we both need recaps. I hope that you can fill in my gaps and I can fill in your gaps.
Hopefully.
Okay, so where do we start off, Fernando?
Okay, we start off where, okay, so in the last season, they had that whole battle, I guess, against the armor titan Rainer, and now we're cutting to them like recovering afterwards. So they're in this little like hut, right?
Yes.
It's like a little house. I don't know what it is.
I think they're in the Tross. Is it Tross district?
I think so.
Like,
it might be,
or is it? I think it's a Tross. I think it was like they were trying to get away from everybody.
Yeah, they were trying to lay low, hide because at this point, not really. They were just trying to like recover from everything that went on, because we start where the original Survey Corp. We cut to them like coming in, and I think Mikasa was like slamming something, and I forgot, or I forgot what she was doing. I saw that
she was raging out.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
And they were like, "Oh, she's not supposed to be doing heavy work." And some of them were like, she's been practicing, she's been exercising and everything.
Okay, but this is Mikasa though.
No, yeah.
Like,
Mikasa, if you haven't seen it, Mikasa's a badass.
She is. Oh my god, I cannot wait to ask you about Levi, but that's later on the season.
Oh.
No, we're not talking about it yet. So I did see that Armin and John, they were playing as if they were Historia, that we know she's Historia, and Eren. They were like, jeez, I can't get it. Okay, they were zooming through and they were pretending to be Historia and Eren, and they get kidnapped immediately because people are after Historia and Eren because the priest, if I'm not mistaken, like revealed that Historia was of royal blood.
Yes. So, like right before we get to that, they literally get surrounded in their hut. Cause,
do they?
Yeah, because who was it? What was something police?
The military?
Yeah,
police?
I forgot what they named it.
I think it's the military police, the one in the middle walls, in the inner walls.
Yeah, but the ones that were corrupt. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what they were called, but it was like the military that was working for the government. But
so the corrupt military. You can just call them the corrupt military.
Yeah, the corrupt ones like show up because they get a letter that someone is like out looking for them.
Oh.
And then that's when they go out to hide, or they go in. I think that was Trust. Was that Trust now?
I think it's Trust.
Yeah, because they're trying to blend in.
And Trust is that city that we discussed, I think, season 1, whenever the armor and the Colossal broke through the walls and Eren locked in.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. So now
I was saying that they got kidnapped, and immediately Mikasa went full power mode and broke them out of the kidnapping.
This is because I've been hearing it a lot. I told even my coworker about that I was watching this series, and she was like, "Oh, my favorite character is Levi." You said your favorite character is Levi.
No, Mike's favorite.
Oh,
Mike's favorite
character is Levi. And I was like, huh? I was like, why is it? I think even my brother-in-law like was saying like, oh, Levi is like. I'm like, what is Levi up to? Because in season 2 he didn't do anything. The reason I'm bringing him up is because in season 3 is when you get more of Levi.
See, when I think of season 3, the only like scene I see in my head is the badass scene with Levi, like the graphics. He's like drifting through,
Yes.
guns pulled out, people
That.
are chasing him. That's what I see when I think of season 3, and that's Levi at the forefront, dude.
That's why after season 3 I was like, okay, I get it. I was like, oh, okay, I see why I love Levi so much. But yeah, because in season 3, like at the beginning of it, they're in Trost, and they're trying. I forgot exactly what they were doing in Trost, but they get found out by Kenny. That's when Kenny first pulls up, which is his
Uncle.
His uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But he doesn't know that yet.
oh.
Levi doesn't know that yet.
But yeah, Kenny pulled it up, and then this is when they had that badass scene where they were both like going to it.
Going at it.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't watched Attack on Titan, that scene, like, I think it was with Studios, they literally stayed there and didn't eat lunch. They didn't go see their families. They stayed there and worked to animate this scene.
They had overtime. They were like on it. It was so good. The whole like fighting around the city and everything, and yeah, so
I
good.
ate it up.
I was That's what I'm telling you. I was like, after this, I'm like, okay, Levi is pretty good.
Oh my gosh, but let's talk about Levi at the end whenever we get to it.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyway, Kenny, Levi, scene.
Okay, so yeah, Kenny pulls up and then is trying to literally like assassinate Levi. But if you didn't catch on from season 2, Levi is like the top of their elites, right?
He's the strongest soldier of humanity.
Literally.
Because Mika was number 2, and Mika died, so.
And he literally proves it. Like, he shows it up into the end, everything. Like, he still proves it.
Oh, he pulls it up until the end.
Oh.
That man, no matter what happens to him, he's going to stay the top soldier.
I mean, okay, I'm a Levi fan. What can I say? But, yeah, after this scene, the Kenny squad, because he pulls up with his squad as well, they like literally surround all of them because they fight them. I can't remember how it leads to it. They have like a battle off. They're trying to kidnap Eren and Historia, and they managed to do it because they had a disguise. They had Armin as a disguise as Historia, and then I forgot who the other one was. John? Oh yeah, John was Eren.
And then Armin went on to get assaulted.
Yeah, because oh my god, that was crazy too. But anyways, the Kenny squad is like outsmarted them somehow and realized that actual Eren and Historia were in the bandwagon, and they literally crushed it, and like
they still kidnapped them.
Now after that scene, what?
Then we should keep that in. Please keep that in. Then Historia reconnected with her dad, Rod Reese.
Oh yeah, because whenever they kidnapped Eren and Historia, and whenever they wake up from because they got shot with a tranquilizer.
Yeah.
And whenever they wake up from that, Historia is with her dad, like her literal dad.
Her actual dad. Okay, now here's the background. Historia, I think we mentioned it before, that she was born out of infidelity. So they like try to ignore her, and like their royal family stayed as. Oh, by the way, Historia is part of the royal family. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I think we did mention that before though.
Hopefully.
I think so.
So they try to ignore her, and at some point, like, her mom hated her. She had a miserable life, but for some reason she was happy.
Okay, did we get a glimpse into that? Because I think they kind of did, but she never like acknowledged her as her daughter. No?
I think it was, but she was like, maybe she was angry at her daughter for like being secluded. You know? Because since she had the kid of a king, she could no longer join society as normal. Maybe she was angry at that. Unless we're mistaken. Unless we don't know the lore, but from what we know, simply that was a parental figure that just hated her daughter.
Yeah. I mean, even... I don't know how far I'm jumping ahead here, but...
We're kind of jumping all over the place. Doesn't matter.
This is very far ahead, I think, now. But, you know, on one of the scenes, she literally goes to hug her mom to get some kind of affection. She goes like, pushes her away, like starts bleeding and everything. But Historia still sees it as some kind of affection, so she's
that
still...
is so odd.
I know. I was like, oh, that was jumping too far ahead. But we done that.
I think so. I think we're good. I
'Cause
mean, we jumped into
she
season
revealed that
4
later. Yeah, on episode 1.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Don't watch episode 1. Just watch the anime, bro.
What happened episode 1?
But the only affection she does get is from Frida, her sister.
Oh, yeah.
But her memories get erased. Once again, we're jumping ahead.
We are. But that's been this whole season. I mean, this has been our whole podcast.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, okay, so we cut to her meeting her dad, and after that...
Oh, that's when she learns that the royal family has kept the founding titan, and then he reveals that Aaron's dad, which we already talked about, luckily, Aaron's dad actually ate Frida Reese, who's Historia's older sister. And the dad is saying that we need to, like, reestablish the founding family. We need to reestablish the royal family, so she needs to take place as her, she needs to take rightful place as the royal, like, she needs to take the queen's space. And then, wait, who dies at some point that it takes up Erwin to court? Because they're blaming Erwin for something, and I got confused about that.
I forgot who he was.
No, because, like, all the recaps I watched, they were like, oh yeah, now Erwin's in trial. And I'm like, why?
There was someone that died.
Was it the priest?
No, it was not the priest. It was someone else, but I can't remember who it was. But they were conspiratizing that that since he like let out too much information, that now that they were saying that Erwin like offed him off because he was spreading too much information. But I can't remember who that guy was.
See, but the royals are trying to cancel out the scouts.
The scouts. So
They're trying
guys
to get rid of the freaking people. That
they
are
literally
thinking.
had their first victory towards the Titan,
Right.
and now they're trying to like.
What does the military police do? What does the garrison do? They don't do anything. They sit up like inside the walls and just chill.
Literally.
The scouts are the only ones risking their lives for the better of humanity. They're better than me, bro. They are better than me. Because had I been top of my class and had the opportunity to be military police, you bet your A that I'd be sitting right next to the king just chilling and drinking my coffee. Well, I don't know. If I was in a little manic episode, I might have run off. I would have been a scout. Yes, Levi. What do you need me to do?
Oh my god. But yeah, I can't remember who the guy was.
Well, a guy died, so now Erwin is on trial.
Yeah, they're like, now we can't trust y'all. Erwin has to be... Oh, because...
Wait, did we finish what happened to the uncle?
The uncle?
The uncle and Levi? Where did they end at? Because I can't remember that much. I know they had a little standoff, but... Because now we know that Historia and Aaron are captured. We're going to get to that later. Okay, so now we caught up a little bit, and we realized that Levi and Kenny just... Like, Levi just escaped Kenny.
Yeah, because they're trying to chase after Aaron and Historia. Yeah. So now their priority is that. But nothing really happens. I mean, they do have the... Kenny and Levi have the battle in the bar.
Best scene. Well, not the scene right before that. Best scene.
I think the whole show has great... the whole show is best scene.
With studios, I swear. They need a raise or something.
But yeah, after that... they had that little battle and nothing really happened after that. I could be mistaken, but...
We can both be mistaken.
But yeah, they just go towards trying to chase Aaron and Historia, but they get captured. So now, cutting to the...
Erwin part. Erwin, he gets beat up. He's, like, under trial, and they're like, oh, we need to get rid of the scouts. Like, they're bad for, like, our country, our walls. But whatever. Right. And as if they weren't the only ones doing anything, but whatever. And everybody's like, we need to get rid of the scouts.
Because they saw it as treason, but there was another one too. It was like profit for. I don't exactly know how they said it, but it was like profit for self versus humanity. Like they saw it as they were like helping themselves, but not really humanity. And there's like that was one of the clauses that they broke. And then
not their like little constitution.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Jeez.
Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, like, what are y'all gonna do, like, about these Titans, though?
And although we're talking about the royal family, right now, the royals in state, they're not part of the royal family.
They're not.
They're just random people up there.
Yeah.
However, whenever they're, like, sentencing Erwin, and they actually settled, where they're like, oh, we're gonna give him the death sentence, that's when Pixis pulls up. Was it Pixis?
It was
Shadis?
It was Pixies, but there was a girl, okay, because they're now in the, it's not a courtroom, but it's like the main like royal office, I guess.
We're gonna call it the royal office.
Yeah, and a girl runs in there, and they're like, oh my god, they just broke through wall Rose. A Titan just broke through Wall Rose.
And Pixis is the one to be like, oh, let's bring everyone into Wall Sina. Let's bring everybody into shelter.
Yes. Because they're like, we can't let these people die. And then that's when, I don't know.
The Royals,
one of them goes, we're closing the walls.
Yeah.
We're like, because while they were bringing up the sentence and everything, they asked Erwin what he had to say about it. And he was like, if you bring in everyone here, you're gonna, like, humanity's gonna be extinct because, like, you're gonna run out of food. You're gonna have people, like, going crazy.
Erwin said that?
Maybe mistaken. Now I'm questioning.
I have no idea. Because I know that, well, I don't want to skip over you. Finish your thought.
Well, yeah, he mentions that. He mentions, like, he's like, even if Titans don't get to us first, if you have people, like, running in here, you're gonna, like, run out of food. People are gonna, like, cause riot because, like, they're gonna run out of food. They're gonna try to find the next thing. Like, violence is gonna break out.
And then we find out it was all a lie.
Yeah, because so the royals, like, we're closing the wall. We can't let people in because then that's gonna run our supplies down.
And then the military sees that and they're like, oh, so you don't care about the people, huh?
Right.
Because the wall never got broken through. Because they said that the armor titan had broke through Wall Rose, like Fernando said. But turns out they were just trying to see the military, like the royal reaction.
The royal intentions, true intentions.
Exactly. And they didn't care about anyone.
They were like, close the walls. We can't let a single person in.
They were getting rid of over half of the population.
Literally.
That's when the military actually set in place a coup d'etat. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Cum d'etat. Something like that. Cum d'etat.
The military took over the royal family, okay?
That's it. Because because they're like actually you just broke clause. I think it was like clause 6, whatever. You're like, you're not for the humanity. You're just for your own benefit. Like, you're not you don't want to save.
And around this time, we found out that the royal family was actually a placeholder. They weren't a royal family.
Right, because then they were like, the guy that you have here in the royal chair or whatever is literally just like a place dummy. Because, and they literally like smack him at one point to wake him up. And I
always wondered that. Why is that? Like, is he like brain dead or something?
I think he's just like a old.
No hate to brain dead people, but
I think he's like a very elderly guy that like it's like near the end of it. I don't know, because they literally like wake him up and they're like, what happened, or is it breakfast, if it's or is it time for dinner or something, like clueless. And then they're like, y'all just had like a dummy emplacement of a royal, like,
so really king. It was the military police leading the, like, making the final say, don't you say? I
think so, because yeah, the royals would also act like they were get his approval, but the guy wouldn't say anything. He's literally, through that scene, he was just like nothing. So
they stage a coup d'etat and they take over, Pixis being one of the top ones. And I think that's when we finished part 1 of season 3, because now we get into the good stuff.
Yeah,
because Fernando really thought that he could watch this in one night and just be like, oh, I'm cruising through. This season is so packed with information.
Literally,
that it goes crazy.
I was like, season 2 was like perfect. It went through like this big thing going on, this big event. Season 3 is like this happened, this happened, this happened. Like all in season
have to break
3.
season 4 into 2 parts.
I was like, season 3 low-key could have been 2 seasons.
Well, honestly, we're probably gonna break season 4 into 2 parts and then do one last special episode for the last episode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because imagine watching this real time, like week by week. I was crawling in my skin, and they were like, "Oh, season 4 gets so much worse."
Oh god.
Like they were like, "Okay, we released 10 episodes. Wait a year. Bye." It literally ended last year.
Really?
We had a watch party. Me and my friends, we had a watch party, and we sat in the same living room. I had already watched it because I needed to watch it the second it came out. But we sat in the living room and we watched it together, and we all cried of how it ended. We're not gonna get there yet, but we need to watch it. I feel like we should watch it before the episode, and then we can get in the episode and we can have raw reactions.
I think we agreed to that. We're like season 4. We gotta watch it together. Like we gotta fully. And I'm like, yes.
Well, season 4, last episode.
Oh, last episode.
Yeah, because season 4 is very long.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's 30 episodes.
You can watch 10 and we can react to the 10. Then you can watch the other 20 and we can watch the other 20 and then we can react to the last one.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway. So now they staged that. So now we cut to a little cave.
Like an ice cave almost. That's what it looked like. I was low key like, is this like Elsa's castle or something? Because like it was full of ice, and Aaron is like chained up,
Kinky.
fully chained up. He's being held back. He even has a little mouthpiece because if he like bites himself, he still can turn into a Titan. So they thought of everything.
Yeah.
And then I think this is when Historia walks in.
Yeah, Historia and Rodriguez.
Oh, Rodriguez, yeah.
And Historia is like supposed to like get this spinal fluid to eat Aaron because she needs to take her rightful place as like the founding Titan royal.
Yeah, because Rodriguez kind of like manipulates her and tells her like, oh, don't you want to see your sister again?
But as I was watching that, I was like, why doesn't Rodriguez do it himself?
I thought that too. I was like, okay, you've been, and even Historia mentions it too before everything breaks crazy. He was like, oh, because I wasn't ready. I'm not ready for that.
And Historia is why.
Like, because right before everything breaks loose, Kenny is also there guarding them. And Kenny like walks in the conversation and he's like, so you put your other daughter through this because her other daughter, Frida, was a Titan. You put one of your brothers through it. I can't remember who was it. But you won't do it? Like, what's the real reason here? And then Historia questions it too. She's like, wait, why haven't you done it yourself? Like right as she's about to like inject herself, she's like, wait, why haven't you done it?
If I'm not mistaken, that's around the time that Historia finds out that the founding Titan comes with the same like mind control for every royal person.
Oh.
I don't know if they touched into that quite yet. I think so. That's why she rejects it.
I can't remember.
No, because Rodriguez is like, oh, you can change it. And she's like, why hasn't anybody else changed it?
Right.
And he's like, you can just change it. Trust me, bro. And she's like, I don't think it's going to work out.
Right.
And that's when she throws the syringe full of spinal, like the Titan spinal fluid, like to the ground.
I just want to mention this before we get to that. Before she decides she's not going to inject herself, she actually considered it.
She did.
She heavily considered it because, because this is when she had that switch up. She was literally about to inject herself. And then, because Kenny brings out the idea, have both of them turn into Titans, fight it out, and then whoever wins.
I mean, I'm with Kenny there.
Historia's about to inject herself. And she goes, Aaron is just crying, sobbing. And then,
I'm telling you, season 4 Aaron is nothing like this.
Oh, no.
Season 4 Aaron goes wild.
I've heard, but
please don't tell me you have gotten any TikTok spoilers.
No. Surprisingly not. Not a single one.
Skip through all of them. You're getting the raw reaction. Dude, I am jealous of you right now.
But yeah, she tells Aaron, like, she's like, you're gonna fight back, right? You're gonna fight back, right? Aaron is like,
No, I
He was
want to
like,
die.
no. He's like, my dad did this to y'all. He's like, I should pay because something around the lines of, my life is not worth living anymore. But then that's what hit Historia hard because her, when she had that scene with her mom, where she like went to hug her mom, she's like, I wish I never had, and then cuts off, and then her mom leaves, and so that hits close to home to Historia. She's like, wait a minute, you do have a life worth living. Like this isn't right. And then that's when she threw the thing to the ground.
See, that's what the difference in between watching it last night versus watching it like when I was
Literally.
17. That's the real difference.
That's
right there.
a little time gap.
Yeah, we're 23 by the way, so it's been a while. But I've watched it like 4 times, so I feel like that makes up for something, right? But I remember season 4 being boring because to me it was so much info dumping.
Really?
Dude, every episode is more information.
Oh my god.
I can't keep up.
I mean, I had a hard time keeping up in this season. Like, I was like, y'all are giving too much info. Like, I need to catch up. What
Settle
happened?
down. But it was interesting. I know a lot of people fell off of it during like the change between season 3 and season 4
Right.
because it was so much.
Um,
And not because it was bad, simply because like, I mean, I kept up. It was fine to me. But it was just so much change in comparison to the beginning where it was like so straightforward. But I still think it's one of the best stories to ever be written because of the world building and the foreshadowing and the like process. I think it's Ayama, the writer of this series, is honestly a mastermind.
I mean, from what I've seen so far, it is. And I can't wait to watch season 4 and see what happens. But
Okay, so Historia threw away the needle, like the syringe.
and it literally like spilled all over the floor.
But Fernando just let me know of something that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah. So meanwhile, in the background, the Levi squad is still trying to retrieve Aaron and Historia. So they literally pulled up. They were like, "We're here." But the Kenny squad was also there. They had like 30 plus people.
And isn't the Kenny squad supporting Rod Reese?
Yes. Right now they're still supporting Rod Reese because can't remember exactly. It was a whole lore behind Kenny and Rod Reese.
We're gonna get to that because I feel like we get to that in the very end when Levi finds out too.
Yeah. So in the background, while Historia and Aaron are having this discussion, the Levi squad pulled up and they're like fighting off the Kenny squad. But then, cut back to Historia and Aaron. Historia runs up and is starting to release Aaron.
Yeah.
But then Rod Reese is like having a meltdown. He's like,
And isn't Aaron being like, no, don't let me go? Like,
Yeah.
that? Like,
He's
bro,
like-
come on, lock in, man.
Aaron's like, no, like just eat me because like
He's so dramatic.
he's like, my dad did this to y'all. While that's going on, Rod Reese is
Ooh,
like,
foreshadowing. Fernando, remember this in the future.
what?
Audience, anybody that watches this, remember this in the future. But okay, yeah, your dad did that to them.
Oh, right. So yeah, Rod Reese is like, oh, this is not gonna happen. So he goes over where the syringe had like spilled over.
He starts licking it.
He
out of
starts licking it,
desperation.
and he turns into this huge titan.
If I'm not mistaken, he's the biggest Titan right before Aaron's founding Titan. You haven't seen Aaron's
I was
founding
about to
Titan?
say, no.
But that is the biggest Titan, and he's so big. However, the syringe is supposed to be injected, and he did not inject it. I think that was the malfunction. So he was like entirely too big for his like legs, so he had to drag himself. Like his Titan was so huge that he couldn't stand up on its own, so he had to like crawl.
Literally like a worm, like crawling. Like,
It was so disgusting.
It was. It was like, ew. While when he licked that and he started transforming into the titan.
Didn't Aaron like drink or inject himself with the hardening armor?
Armor. Yeah. So, because the Levi squad pulled up where Aaron was, and they released him from being chained up, and they have no way out, except there's I think there's this one little hole that in the
Elsa cave?
in the cave. Yeah. And but it was like covered up. But they're like, Aaron, you have to do something, like, because they were literally cornered.
Aaron's like, bro, I want to die.
Aaron's like, no, like, they deserve this. I'm like,
that pissed me off so much.
I'm
I
like,
was like,
Aaron.
Aaron, there's priorities right now, man.
yeah, because I mean, also,
You're friends, man.
but also, before he did that, what was he gonna do? Like, genuinely, like, what was he gonna do? But anyways, Aaron finally, like, I guess, like, is like, okay, well, I can't let my people die, like, regardless. So
good, locking in. Anyway,
he saw, because Rod Reese had this little, like, medical bag, and from the medical bag, a little vial came out that said armor. So when Aaron is finally like, okay, well, I can't just sit around and do nothing, he grabs the little vial, runs off the ledge from where he was, like, tied up from, where all his people are at. He literally, like, bites the vial and transforms into a Titan.
chills.
But I can't remember the exact line that he said, but he basically, like, turns into, I don't even know how to describe it.
He builds like a shield. No, he like keeps the walls up around like his crew.
Yeah, because he literally makes like a, I don't know, like
a shield, like
like a sphere. Yeah. He makes a sphere like around them, and everybody runs in, and
it was just the hardening crystal.
The hardening crystal. So they all, like, go under him, and they survive.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Rod Reese starts crawling his way to, was it Walsina or Walmaria? Walsina. It was Walsina. The main.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like, what are we gonna do? And that's when I think Hans reveals that they like found a new way to attack the Titans, and it's the Thunder Spears.
Yes.
And they're trying to figure out a plan. They don't reveal it to the audience yet. We have to watch it with the show. And they're trying to catch up to Rod Reese, and they're like, Astoria, you have to take place as their rightful, like, heir. Like, you have to be the queen, but you have to make it a show for the people.
Well, that's what Historia said herself. She was like, because they were telling her, you had to become the queen. And then right before they go off to fight off her dad, Titan. Titan form.
A lot of dads become Titans in the show.
She was like, the people are not just going to believe me. Like, they're
True.
not just going to take me. Like, they're not just going to believe my blood is royal blood. And, like, I have to do something. She's telling Erwin this. She's like, I have to be the one that releases the, like, hitting blow, like, the final blow.
Oh, and I don't think we mentioned, now the scouts have free reign. Now the military took over the government, per se. Now the scouts are free to do
because
whatever.
What was the other guy's name?
Fixes?
Reeves. There was this one scene where there was this they were chasing off this guy, like, I think his last name is Reeves. I can't remember what his first name was, but there were the military people were like chasing after him, and they cornered him in this abandoned, like, city.
The recap didn't have that.
Because that's the guy that his dad got killed, that got the scouts. That's I can't remember their name, but I do remember the last name was Reeves, and they owned a company there that provided meat for them or something, and potatoes. I don't know. He gets cornered, the Reeves guy, and the military pulls up, and they're like, oh, like, this is the end. Like, we're about to, like, nobody's gonna hear you out here because this is an abandoned city. There's no one here. And then the Reeves guys goes, before you do that, I need like what is it? Like, clarification. I need, like, why did you kill my dad? Like, what caused, like, and somehow or another the military people, like, slip up and tell the truth, because they're, in a sense, they're in a abandoned city, so they're like, oh, nobody's gonna hear us out here. And
I feel like I'm listening to a different anime. This
really?
Must be what you felt whenever I was yapping about season 1.
And I wish I had all the details, because I know they're very important, but I don't remember the full details, because a lot happened that
they might not be that important if I can't remember.
they're about to, like, off the Mr. Reeves guy, and that's when the military is like, oh yeah, they basically admit that it was fraud. Like, they're the ones that killed his dad, not the scouts. Because the whole time they thought the scouts killed his dad because he was releasing a lot of information. Little do they know the military people are the ones that did it. And they admit to it because they're like, oh, nobody's gonna hear you out here, and he's like, the Reeves guy is like, oh, like you're so dumb, look on top of you, and then that's when Hanj, and I can't remember what other guy she had it with her, but it was Hanj, and she's like, everybody, did y'all just hear? Well, first of all, they like kind of like defeat them a little bit, they beat them up a little bit.
How do you like Hanj? I'm so sorry, just getting into it.
I don't really have an opinion over Hanj.
You don't like Hanj?
No,
well,
it's not that.
I mean, not that you don't like her, but you don't like have a liking to her.
I mean, she's cool.
You're gonna like her. Well, I'm just speaking from experience. You're gonna like her so much more in season 4. These characters. This is why I love an anime that it's very actually well like put like thought out, because these characters are well like dived into, and they actually like make the character like interesting. Like, the people that are watching, aka us, we can actually connect with these characters, that we can actually start liking them properly, instead of being like, oh, that's cool. You actually start to delve into like their lives.
Oh.
And Attack on Titan did that so well.
Oh.
I mean, especially with Eren and Mikasa. I mean, think about that.
Oh yeah.
And then further on in season 4, you're gonna get to know more about Rainer, Benadryl, Annie, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, Hanj like says, everybody, did y'all just hear that? And literally the whole village was there. Like, it was an abandoned city. Everyone heard them in the village. So then that's what also helped, like, they all served as witnesses that the military was fraud. And then that's what helped, like, the scouts.
The Royals? The military police.
Yeah, the military police.
Okay.
So that's what made everyone realize, oh, y'all were lying. Like, the scouts didn't kill his dad. The military from the royal, like working for the royals, did this. So then that's what also got the scouts released. How did we get onto this topic?
I think you started having the scouts because now they have free reigns, and now they're going after Rod Reese, who's slowly crawling his way to Walsina. Rod Reese, like, they're trying to make their plan. They're thinking, oh, we have thunder spears. They have a whole plan, but the readers don't know about it yet.
Yeah.
And they show, like, if you haven't watched the anime, I love how they like show their strategies, because they put a little map in front of you. They're like, okay,
yes.
people, watch.
This
is what we do.
They're like, this is the plan, and they literally show you the plan, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Right, like, you don't have to pay too much attention.
Yeah.
They show you visuals. They're like, all right, for y'all that are not paying attention, this is what we're doing. Please pay attention. And they show you how Rod Reese is heading towards this way, and they're like, oh, we're gonna send people this way. Then Eren, their plan is for Eren to throw thunder spears into his throat so they can demolish his Titan form. However, like, the pieces are gonna like scatter, and the plan is for Historia to get rid of the main piece, like I guess his Nate piece.
Yeah.
That way the people can see that, and then afterwards she can do like a badass move and be like, I am Historia, I am a royal family, like, I am gonna take my rightful like place
as a queen.
Yes,
yeah.
Go off, queen. But from the crawling, Rod Reese was missing like his entire front part of his face.
Oh, that was so disgusting.
Get it?
Yeah, because they were like, we don't even know if he's gonna have his mouth open. Yup, his mouth was literally cut out.
His esophagus. Please.
So it was easy for them to defeat him.
Like, it's kind of graphic. His guts were falling off over the wall because
literally
of his entire side. Imagine if you were a human being crawling your way through miles and miles. Your entire like front part of your body would just not be there anymore. That was Rod Reese.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
But the scene of Historia, taking out that
was so badass.
She was badass. And like I said, the plan went through as expected, and she cut the nape, and like I said, she ended up being like, I am the queen.
My name is Historia, I'm the queen.
And most people were supporters.
Yeah, they were like, what?
They were eating it up.
She was like, she defeated it.
Yeah. So, and that's when we get to like kind of a wholesome scene whenever like Historia takes place as the queen.
Oh.
And she's like, I wanted to do this for a long time. And she punches Levi. He doesn't even flinch, by the way.
He even laughs it off. So.
And she's like, I wanted to do that for a long time. And he's like, okay, glad you had your fun. Anyway, we have more stuff to do.
Right. Because now this is when they bring up the fact that they need to recover
Maria.
Wall Maria.
Rose? No, Wall Rose. I'm sorry.
Oh, Wall Rose.
Hopefully I'm correct. The third wall, the outermost wall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Wall Rose. Wall Rose and then the other wall that got...
And then the Shiganshina, the shrimp.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we need to head out. And they do this because now, obviously, Historia is on the side of the scouts.
Yeah.
Historia was part of the scouts, so Historia is obviously going to give the scouts free reign to do whatever they need to do. Although she is for the people, she knows that the scouts are doing what they can for the people. So the scouts head out to Wall Maria. They obviously have a plan. And that's when we really see the smarts of Armin coming through.
So now when they arrive to Wall... Is it Wall Rose?
Yes.
When they arrive to Wall Rose, literally they have 100 scouts with them. And they see the Beast Titan at the very far distance.
Do they?
Yeah. They have the Beast Titan. The Beast Titan has the other huge Titans, and then they have tiny Titans.
I'm eating this up, man. Like, I remember the first time I saw this scene, and, like, the Levi scene, we're gonna get to it later, but the Levi scene versus the Beast Titan, I still watch it on YouTube every now and then because I eat it up.
But it was, yeah.
We're gonna get to it soon.
But yeah, because... so what happened was, I think they do seal Wall Rose, like, successfully, too easy. And then that's when they were like, wait, this was too easy. Like, where are they at? Aren't they here? While they were on the walls, while Aaron successfully sealed the first wall, while they were walking around the walls, Armin realizes that there's, like, some, like, ashes left over, like, of a burning fire.
Yes! And coffee are, like, warm, and they're like, oh, someone was here last night.
Yeah, he finds, like, the 3 cups where somebody had been drinking tea.
I am so excited, man. I've been waiting to yap, like, in full length, and this is the perfect opportunity for this.
So he's like, they were like, they're here, but where are they? Because, like, they haven't seen any Titans. They successfully did Wall Rose too easy. So where are they at? And then that's when Erwin tells him, like, okay, well, you make your decision. Like, he brings him soldiers. He's like, you tell them what to do.
And then this is when Armin, like, pulls out his brain ball. Like, this is when we realize that Armin is a master strategist. Not per se, but that's when we realize how smart he is.
Yeah.
Like, we already knew, but he really shows it out this season.
He really does. Because he puts it into overgear. And, like, it's like, wait a minute. Like, there's Titans in the walls.
Check the walls.
Check the walls. He's like, they wouldn't be, he was like, we have to be one step ahead. Because they wouldn't be.
Always one step ahead.
Always 2 steps ahead.
I'm glad you got it, because it would have been so embarrassing if you did.
But yeah, he was like, it wouldn't be too obvious for them to be just hiding out in
anywhere in the district.
So they must be hiding in the walls. So he conducts all his soldiers, Armin Schultz, because he was given soldiers. He's like, search the wall. He's like, they were like, you want us to do what? Why are we searching the wall?
That was so sick though. He's like, just do it, and they start tapping it with the back of their their swords.
Yeah, and then one of them goes, wait, I found something. This is hollow.
And immediately,
shake. Rainer removes the cover and. But this scene, the badass scene when Levi wastes no time. He jumps off the wall and stabs Rainer. I was like, oh my god. I was like,
okay, I see the hype. And you hadn't even seen the best part yet.
He wasted no time. Literally, as soon as Rainer did that and like came out of the wall, Levi was like, whoop, and like stabbed him. But I mean, what did Rainer do? I think he went from his subconscious, like moved his nerves over to the rest of his body.
Who knows? Plot armor, man.
Something, I don't know. And unfortunately, Levi didn't kill him. Like, just stab him multiple times, like kill him off. Yeah, and then that's when Rainer turns into the Colossal Titan. Or not Armor Titan.
Hey, but now you're getting the names of the Titans lined up. Like, I see this as fabulous. And Fernando's speedrunning this, by the way. Fernando is locked in watching the series, and like, what took me 6 years, 7 years, I think, no, actually longer. I started watching it in freshman year of high school. So when I was 14, and I ended it last year.
Oh yeah, because of season 4 last year.
Yeah. So what took me 3 plus when was our first 7 years? No.
More?
6, 9 years. What took me 9 years, Fernando's doing like a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the full series in like a month.
So.
But I'm lucky enough that everything's already out, and it's like I can just binge watch everything.
Gotta take your wins, but so yes, he turns into the armored titan. Where's Benadryl at this point?
Benadryl, they don't know, but
Oh,
I guess I can spoil it.
not the spoilers.
I don't know, guys. I might spoil it here. But the Beast Titan, they realize that he has another little Titan beside him. That it's not like the other Titans because he's carrying cargo. He's carrying like boxes and like barrels.
The cart titan. That's literally what it's called.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called. It just so happens that one of these barrels has Bertold in it.
Oh, I did not remember that.
Yeah. Cause okay, so while Rainer turned into the armored Titan, Aaron turns into a Titan to fight him off as well.
Which I love these scenes. Like, it really gives a grimy brain.
These were, but the so he's fighting him off, and but the scouts are also with him. Well, not yet. At one point, when they were waiting for Aaron to be ready, like for them to come in, and they're using what's the thing called again?
The thunder spears.
The thunder spears. They used the thunder spears to
try to take down Rainer, right?
Yeah, and they're like getting pretty close. They're like successful. Like they blow up his neck because that's where they're supposed to hit, and they did it like 2 times.
But then he screams out for help.
Yeah, cause he's like hunched over, like literally looks like they're like celebrating. They're like, "Whoa, we did it, we did it!"
Which in Attack on Titan do not celebrate until they're dead.
I was like, "There's no way they already got him that quick. Like, y'all need to stop celebrating." Meanwhile, Bertold in the barrel is like, "Where's his signal at? Where's his signal? Could he be in trouble? Like, where's he at? Where's he at?" Suddenly, Rainer comes back and like yells like so loud.
Titan screams.
Rah. And then Bertold's like, "That's a sign." So the Beast Titan grabs the barrel and throws it to Shiganshina. And they're like, Armin is like, he's like, "Bertold must be in that barrel." And sure enough, Bertold was in that barrel, and he like hops out.
And then makes a nuclear bomb go off. And kills most of the scouts that are out there, that are inside of Shiganshina.
Because when he jumped out, he jumped up on top of Rainer.
But he was facing the ground to not get hurt.
He's like, "I know you're hurt, but if you can slightly move, turn on your back. Otherwise, it's the end. Like, I have no other choice." Armin, for some reason, yells at Bertold, and he's like, "Armin," or he's like, "Bertold, like,
let's talk about it.
Let's talk it out." Like, Armin, I mean,
hear me out, man. Hear me out.
I could see where this
could have worked. Let me say something.
So, Bertold, because low-key Bertold back in the day, he might have like gave up. He might have been like, "You know what? You're right. Let's stop this." Because low-key in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, Bertold is like, he doesn't want to do this."
Yeah.
But then Bertold now is like
locked in.
He's like, "I'm not afraid anymore." And
he's so annoying. I don't like him. You like him, but I don't.
And while he was having this like face off with Armin, he pretty much tells him, this is your plan. You just want to waste time, like you just so that they can like go and finish off Rainer while I'm over here talking to you. And then Armin starts shaking.
No.
And he's like, "I'm right, because you're shaking." He's like, "You know that's right?" And then Mikasa pulls up.
Fatty.
Tries to slay Bertold, but Bertold is like on top of it, and he doesn't let her.
Birth control is locked in, man.
He is. So he runs over. I don't know why he ran over back to I guess to try to get away from them, but he like run over kind of like where Rainer was at. And
Is he still transformed, or is he in his
no,
human form?
this was human form right before he transformed.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when the nuclear explosion goes off.
And he takes out a lot of people.
He does. He takes out.
If I'm not mistaken, like people, Aaron tries to hide some people.
Well, because it was Aaron, Mikasa, Armin, John, Connie. Oh yeah, because Sasha I think got hurt, so they were like holding her. I think.
Oh, so now that you know their dynamics, how do you feel about Sasha and Connie? And John? Because I feel like we've talked about the main characters too much. We haven't really delved into the side characters a little.
It's the same thing. I have no input. I don't know.
They're just
Sasha. Well, Connie, like I've like seen more of him. Sasha, I don't know like much going on. Like low-key, I'm like, what? Because I feel like I think I get him confused. Sasha and then Hanj, because they kind of look similar. I know Hanj has glasses, but I don't know. I think I get them confused a little bit.
They do both be offering comedic relief.
So I don't, to be honest, don't know much about Sasha. Connie's like, I mean,
He's just chilling.
I don't know. It's hard for me to describe them or anything because I mean, yes, I see what they're doing, but also they're like just there. Because like the main people here is like Armin and like
The trio.
the trio. But
Okay.
what do you think? What do you think about them? Why were you questioning? Why were you asking? You know,
Fernando in
something.
the future was gonna see my reaction, so so I'm gonna hold back from saying anything until season 4.
Okay.
Godspeed, brother.
So yeah, but then it was a couple scouts and Hanj and I forgot who the other guy was with her, but they were like going towards Rainer whenever Bertold was transforming, and when the explosion went off, I thought Hanj was dead because they were right underneath the blast. But turns out I forgot.
Isn't this when she gets hurt in the eye? She ends up wearing an eye
Yes.
patch at some point.
Yes, because I don't know who the other guy was with her. I can't remember. But the guy throws her down a well so she can survive.
Oh, that was her love interest. I don't know if it's
Oh.
canon or not, but it was kind of her love interest.
It kind of seemed like it because
And then he dies because everybody in Attack on Titan dies.
basically whenever we get to the end part, when they're making the decision, should I say it already?
No.
No.
We're gonna keep it at the end.
Hanj is telling Mikasa like you're gonna lose a lot of people you love, a lot of people close to you, and then it kind of like is memories of the guy that pushed her down. I don't remember his name. So yeah, that's why I'm like, oh okay, it kind of made sense that you brought up that it's her love interest because
She loved him.
she loved him, but yeah, she survives. Well, I thought she died, but she survives because the guy did push her down the well. And then when she's going down the well, that's when her glass, like, because of the explosion.
Oh, they pierced through her eye, no?
Yeah, her glasses, one of her eyes, like, it shatters and goes into her eye.
Yeah, and then what happens after that?
Good question.
You with the good question? That's Mike's funny. Like, he finds that as the funniest clip ever. Can I talk about what's going on in the back right now? Like, is this relevant now? Where Erwin and Levi are planning out the strategy against the Beast
Oh,
Titans?
yes.
Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to talk about this for so long.
Okay.
So in the meantime, while this is all going on inside the walls, we still have the Beast Titan looming through. Like, this is a terrifying sight. The Beast Titan is just in the background with so many, like, bigger, like, I think, like, 15 feet tall.
Yeah, they were
Titans?
huge.
They're all surrounding him, like, in a line. And he's like, I'm protected. And there's little Titans around him. And he's throwing rocks because his thing is baseball for some reason. So he's, like, grabs a big boulder. He crumbles it in his hands. And then he throws rocks. And mind you, this is, like, an incredible speeds. And that's his little plan. Like, nobody's going to approach him because he's throwing these rocks. And in the meantime, Erwin and Levi and the rest of the scouts are like secluded in the little like village area, and they're trying to determine what to do. And Erwin comes up with an insane plan.
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna be decoys. We are going on a suicide mission And me and the scouts are all gonna head towards the Beast Titan. So Levi, you can go around him and take him down. And Levi is like, you're insane. You're not going to kill yourself for this. And Erwin is like, we have to. And the scouts are like, we're not doing that.
Which at that point I was like, I mean, what other option you have? Like, let's be for real. Like,
but he comes up with the best speech ever. That's this tattoo.
oh, really? That's where this tattoo comes from?
My soldiers conquer. My soldiers rage.
Oh.
That's what I have tattooed. That scene brought chills to me, man.
Same. I was like, oh my god.
Because he was saying, our deaths are not going to be in vain. We're doing this for humanity. And at this point, his dream is to get to the basement, and he never finds out what happened. Yeah. But he's like, he has the talk no jutsu, man. He yaps his way to convince everybody to go on a suicide mission. And although they're scared, they're like, well, this is for the better cause. I mean, everybody that joined the scouts have it in their heart to, like, protect humanity. Because who would join the scouts? Unless you were there.
Yeah, I think if you joined the scouts, like, I mean, since the beginning,
you're about to die.
Yeah, it's like since the beginning, it was like, oh, like most of you are gonna be gone.
And he's like, we have to do it. And Levi's like, no, you can't. And Erwin's like, no, we have to. And the soldiers are like, do we know? And Erwin is like,
specifically one. Who was the? Do you remember that? Flock. Yeah, specifically him.
I know him because he lives entirely way too long in this series.
He
lives entirely way too long, and we are gonna hate him for it in the future, and you're gonna find out why.
I already kind of do, because the way
he was annoying.
He was like, well, if we're all gonna like if this is the end, then I don't have to obey your orders, do I? And I'm like, oh, what? Like, what?
But the thing about Erwin is, like, he's not just sacrificing his troops. He's like, I'm gonna be like front forward. I'm gonna be the leader of this. I'm gonna lead the troops, because I think someone brings up like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna lead the troop.
Yeah.
And that's where the thing comes up where he's like, my soldiers fight, my soldiers da-da-da-da. I wish I knew, because it would be more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The same with me. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing specific key details, but
at some point he like screams out like, my soldiers rage, and that's why I got it tattooed. And then that's when they all head towards the Beast Titan, and he's like, they're dumb. Like, why are they all like crowding me? Like, I'm just gonna kill them.
Yeah.
So he's throwing boulders at them, taking the soldiers out one by one. Not even one by one, many by them.
Because they start shooting that, what is it, the signal pistol?
Yeah, the flare guns.
The flare guns, and he's like, this is your plan?
like that, they're what? But the Beast Titan had been warned. He had one warning by Rainer and Birth Control that was like, there's one soldier to watch out for.
He's like, really, one?
Yeah. And that's Levi. And he's like, what is one soldier gonna do? Little does he know. That man, like, he takes out all the soldiers.
My God. Yeah.
And he's like, dude, that was their plan? What kind of mentality do they have? Are they dumb? And he looks around and he's like, where did my Titans go?
Yeah, because he realized they're like on the ground, like dead.
And he's like, what happened? And before he knows it, the baddest scene comes through, and it is Levi. Levi comes through with blood, like, streaming down his face, running towards the Beast Titan. And me and Mike were having a heated discussion, like, earlier this week.
Why?
Because we were talking about who would win. Mikasa, Armin, and Eren versus Hanj, Levi, Erwin, and Mika. And he was like, well, see, Dead 1 versus Dead 1, 2, 3, and Levi.
and Levi.
And I was like, okay, but see it like this. Levi alone gave the Beast Titan PTSD. Like,
he did.
Because Mike was like, oh, well, Eren can harden his knee. So can the Beast Titan. But Levi was so fast that the Beast Titan didn't have time to harden his knee. Like, the Beast Titan takes out his arm, like, little swirls around his arm, takes out the flesh, takes out his ankles, and takes out his eyes. And he's like, oh, darn, I should harden my neck. Before he can do that, Levi's on him.
Levi's already on it.
That is the bad. That's when you can see how powerful and fast Levi really is.
This is what I'm telling you. I was like, I didn't understand until season 3 why everyone loved Levi.
Dude, he takes it through. It was so amazing to me. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm a goner. And then Levi literally, like, takes his body out and he's like, we're gonna feed you or whatever. We're gonna feed you to somebody else or we're gonna kill you or whatever. Like, you're the reason why all my comrades died. Like, Levi is out with a vengeance, rightfully so, but... what happens? Did the car titan pull through it?
Yeah, the car titan pulled up and, like, snatched him.
Oh, yeah. Just, like, snatched it up with his mouth, with her mouth. Is
it her?
Is it her?
Oh.
Oh, she's peak. She's a baddie. We're gonna find more about her next season.
Ew. Yeah.
She got the shittiest job, but she's a baddie.
Yeah, so she comes up and snatches him and takes him away.
That was my most exciting yet for the day. I was like looking forward to this so much.
So, oh, I can see why. Because you have the tattoo literally.
That's why I put my sleeves up. Anyway.
But yeah, back at the inside the walls, or inside this Shiganshina, Armin is planning like how to take down Bertold because they can't. Like, nothing is working. And then that's when he realized, wait, he's kind of like skinnier. Like, he's lost mass.
By letting out the steam, the colossal titan loses mass.
He connected the dots and he was like, oh, when he lets out his steam, he's like getting rid of some mass from his muscles.
Which makes him weaker. And he devises a plan. I think he tells Eren. He whispers it to
Oh,
Eren.
yeah, because, at this point, Eren got knocked into the wall. And by Bertold, or the Colossal Titan. And he goes up to Eren and, like, tries to wake him up, like, and it then tells him the plan, like, of what they're going to do.
And at the time, the audience doesn't know what's going on.
So basically, while Eren is knocked up, they come up with the plan that Armin is going to go up there and tell Eren the plan, while the rest of the scouts, Mikasa, Connie, and I forgot who John, they were going to hold back Rainer because Rainer came back to life. They come up with this plan. They only had 3 of the Thunder Spears. Yeah, they only had 3 Thunder Spears left. So they were like, if we hit him on both sides of his jaw, it'll like unlock it, and then Mikasa can come in and
hit it through his esophagus. That way he can be exposed to the meat.
Yeah, but it was I think it was Sasha here, or I think this is when Sasha got hurt.
Mayhaps.
So it was John and Sasha that were going to do that. John did it, but then Sasha somehow missed because I think that's when Rainer like knocked her over. So she missed, so they weren't successful. And then Mikasa's like, well, I have to do this anyways, like, no matter what, this is our only option. And then Hanj pulls up, which I thought she was dead. She came back and she shot the other one on his other jaw, so now his mouth is exposed. And Mikasa, she was like, Mikasa, this is your chance, go. And then Mikasa goes and shoots through his throat, and Rainer comes out of the Colossal Titan.
Armored.
Oh. Rainer comes.
Like, when the blood will get here, but okay.
Rainer comes out of the Armored Titan. And then that's when they're actually successful this time. But then the little cart got, and the cart go.
Oh, and meanwhile, I completely missed that part where whenever the cart titan picked up the beast titan, Zeke, he has screamed to all the titans to attack Levi.
Oh, yeah.
However, Levi was not going to go down that easily, because imagine the hauntings whenever Zeke thinks he's safe and Levi pulls up at the top of the wall being like covered in blood. Not his blood, not his own blood, and the titan's blood, because he's like, okay, now what? Now what? This man is a badass.
He is.
Okay, so basically they make their escape because they realize that the scouts are not playing around.
Right.
Because they're like, well, Zeke is exhausted, Reiner's exhausted, but we haven't really touched on Benadryl right now. Benadryl is like, Armin is executing his plan. Armin is like trying to discuss with Benadryl Meanwhile, Eren is still knocked out in the bottom of the wall. And he's trying to fight Benadryl. And Benadryl's like, once again, they're like really underestimating the scouts. And he's letting off the steam. And Armin has his ODM gear stuck to Benadryl's like teeth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, his tooth, yeah.
And he's letting off all the steam, burning Armin alive. And we're just looking at him losing his dreams, being like, well, I'm ready to die, I guess.
Again, foreshadowing. But he told Eren, like, oh, we have to go see the beach together, so I won't let this happen. Like, he was like, when I see that it's too much, I'll let go.
But he was lying.
He was lying. He was like, this is everything that I fought for, and like, he was like, I have to hold on longer, and then he's just like,
he's a little burnt chicken nugget.
He's a burnt chicken nugget.
And then that's when Benadryl goes, okay, now what? And then he looks down and he sees that Eren is pulling through, and he's like, wait, what? And then he sees that the body that he saw on the floor was Eren's hardened form.
Yeah.
Just a crystal, just a shell, which he covered the wall, but Eren now was coming through being like, hey man, you killed my best friend, what? And he pulls his body out of the Colossal Titan, right?
Yeah.
And they put him, and the plan is to eat Benadryl. Benadryl's exhausted. I think he's passed out, no?
He's like passed out, limbs gone.
Limbs gone because they're not going to let him do that again.
Yeah. He's passed out. And then we also come back to a glimpse of Rainer. And Rainer's also like pretty out of it. And I think it was Hanj interrogating Rainer, and she was like, are you going to tell me the truth, or am I just going to end you here? And then John goes, no, wait, you can't do that. He's like, we need his information. You have to keep him alive. And then Mikasa's also there, and she tells Mikasa, go figure out, like, because Josh so thing was like, we need information, or like someone needs to eat him to get the Titan form. Hanch tells Mikasa, go find out with the other squad and see like if the coast is clear, like to off him, then let out a flare gun.
And that's when she pulls up to the mess that they've got.
Yeah, the mess that came up. And now, is this when Flock pulled up?
Yeah, that's when annoying ass Flock pulls up with the body of what's left of Erwin. Like, his guts spilling out, and he's like, oh, because they were like, oh, Armin is passed out, however, he's still alive. So Levi is there, and he still has the... Oh, we didn't even touch into Kenny and Levi's situation when he gave him the syringe.
Oh, we didn't.
Okay, so really quick, scrolling through, turns out Kenny was Levi's uncle, and he sided with the royals, and he managed to get spinal fluid. There's deeper lore, but I feel like it's easily ignored, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
But Levi was like, he grew up on the underlevels of the city, and he went through a tough time, and Kenny was his like parental figure, but he was not the greatest anyway. But Levi like came through the cracks, and he ended up like making himself the strongest soldier. Anyway, Kenny was like, sorry, by the way, here's the spinal fluid syringe. Have fun with it. Do whatever you will. So now Levi has the syringe of spinal fluid, what transforms human beings to a Titan. So now, with that possession, they're like, oh, Armin is still alive. We can turn him into a Titan, and he can eat birth control. That way he can become the Colossal Titan and live on. However, right when he's about to do that, annoying ass Flock pulls up with Erwin's like this mangled body.
Somehow Flock, out of everyone, made it out.
Of all the people, the most annoying one.
The most annoying one. The one that was like, oh,
he gets even worse then.
Oh my god, he's already.
And he's like, wait, you have to save the commander.
Right.
Shut up, bro.
Low-key, it kind of made sense. Like, yeah, he's the commander, but also like Armin brains.
See, but thing is, Erwin too, brains.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like saying that Attack on Titan wouldn't have ended the way it did had Erwin survived. You're not going to know about this yet, but we can discuss that further on. But basically now Levi was in a conundrum because he was like, save my best friend, commander-in-chief, like, very smart, or save, like, the youth, basically. Like, save the up-and-coming youth that's smart as heck. Like, Eren is pulling out all these points being like, oh, Armin did this and this and that. Like, he has the brains there. Like, you have to save Armin. But Levi is stressing out because now he can save the commander-in-chief. Like, come on. I don't know. What would you do? Because I feel like Erwin would have been the smarter choice here, but that's just me.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, basically,
it was so difficult because throughout it, too, I was like, wait, who should he pick? Who should he pick? Because Armin did bring up a lot of key points that I don't know if Erwin would have known or not. I mean, low-key, maybe, yeah, because they say he's really smart.
mm-hmm.
But, like, Armin's intelligence, like, he did kind of stutter at one part, but, like, the way that his thinking and it's, like, quick, and he's like, oh, like, we can do this, we can do
He
this.
thinks outside of the box when Erwin is still kind of stuck in the past. I feel
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if I could decide either. Like, I don't know. Who would you pick?
At first, I was going to say Erwin, but then the more I think about it, I'm like, Armin has more modern beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like Armin wouldn't have made the same decisions as Erwin, and you don't know about season 4 yet, but Erwin, a lot of people speculate that he would have been a Jaegerist, and you don't know what that means yet, but
No.
it might have led to worse outcomes in the future. However, eventually Levi gets fed up. He's like, stop telling me what to do. Go away. Leave. To everyone. Because Aaron is being annoying little pest, being like, no, you have to save my best friend. And Erwin is like, man, let me think, please. So he shoos everyone away, and he's sitting there, and the show makes you believe that he's going to save Erwin.
Yeah, because I think he even says it too. He's like, I'm going to say, like, as they're being dragged away, because they wanted Armin to be the one that gets injected. As they're being, like, literally dragged away, he goes, I'm about to bring the Erwin back. Something around those lines. So he says that he's going to.
And then we have like a little quick cutscene where we have a mindless blonde Titan, which is misleading because they're both blonde.
Well, but
Did it look more like Armin?
it did, because Armin had like really longer hair, which Erwin did not. He had his specifics were like this area was brown.
The little shave.
Yeah, the little shave part, and then the rest was blonde. And then Armin was fully blonde and like long hair, and that's what the Titan looked like.
His mindless Titan form looked kind of goofy, not gonna lie, but so did Aaron's though.
It did, yeah.
So then we get do we get to see that Armin left, or did they leave that up to imagination?
What do you mean that he left?
Like, do we see him like awake and stuff? Armin? Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so the Zeke crew, the Car Titan, Rainer, and Bertold all retreated back, and we have the scouts who successfully reclaimed Shiganshina. They're like, okay, cleared out. Let's go see what's in the basement. Finally, let's go see what's in the basement. And that's when they hop into Aaron's old house, and then they discover everything Priscilla yapped about on the first episode.
Yeah, that's what when like these cutscenes started
It all
coming up.
connected.
I was like, oh, this is what Priscilla was talking about. So yeah, they go into the basement, and first of all, they thought the key that Aaron had was the key to the basement. It was not.
It was for little box.
And then they just break it. Well, Levi breaks the door open. They go in, and then they realize that underneath the desk there's a keyhole. So they unlock it. And then at first it seemed empty, but Levi's like, no, this is like a fake. And then he moves it, and the books are there.
They find 2 books? 3?
3, I'm pretty sure. Because there was a green, blue, and red.
And isn't it his journals?
Yeah.
It was Grisha's journals in which they dive into... we don't really want you to go look at episode 1. So we're going to just yap about it real quick.
What happened in episode 1? I don't know.
Basically, they find 3 journals in which we find out about the Morlayan history and how Grisha came to the walls.
Yeah.
How he was part of a rebellion group, married Diana Fritz, the Morlayans, how there's another country, how the walls are not the last of the civilization, there's a whole world out there. Grisha is trying to save the world in a way, because that's what the owl said. And he has the Attack Titan, which... you can see the future and the past, so he knows in a way that he has to make a change, and they find out that the society, the entire world hates Eldians, followers of Ymir,
Yeah.
and it's just a bunch of lore drop, honestly.
It really was. And then, well, that's when I think that one of the scene or one of the episodes where they were discussing it, that's when I dozed off. So I also don't.
Oh,
but I
okay.
think it was more.
I mean, you already know about it anyway.
Yeah, I think most of it was just like lore of what, where he came from, or like what everything was going on.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched it, it's basically just the entire world is out there. They hate Eldians. Eldians are the people inside the walls. There's more Eldians out in the world, but they're very discriminated against, and they're like sit in internment zones, and nobody likes them. And Gersha had another kid called Zeke, and that's when we find out that Zeke is actually Aaron's brother. Zeke is the Beast Titan. He was raised to be like a double soldier, but he was actually on the side of Marleyans, and he told his parents, and that's when his parents were found out to be part of the rebellion, and they get turned to mindless Titans as punishment, and they get thrown outside of the walls because that's what every Eldian's punishment happens. They get thrown as mindless Titans to roam around Eldia, and we found out that Diana Fritz, Zeke's mother, Grisha's first wife, is actually the Titan that killed Aaron's mom.
Yeah.
And then we came to find out that Grisha was just roaming around the walls, and he gets discovered by their first instructor. It wasn't Pixis, it was Shadis. Shadis.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I can't remember those names.
And Grisha says that he was found outside the walls, and he said that he only knows his name, and he doesn't know. He has memory loss. So he gets taken inside the walls, and that's when he meets Carla, which is Aaron's actual mom. And he makes a family, becomes a doctor, etc., etc. And then the lore drop happens, and then we move on to being like, oh, we successfully reclaimed Walrose.
Walrose, yeah.
Watch it be Maria, and we've been yapping the wrong the entire time. But then they all get brought back to the capital or whatever, and Historia's giving them like their little medallions.
Yeah.
And whenever she gets to Aaron.
Oh yeah, because when they get the medallions, everyone's like kissing her hand.
Yeah.
And whenever she gets to Aaron kisses her hand, and they have a flashback of what was the dad saying? I can't remember, but Aaron sees everything. Yeah.
And Aaron sees everything in season 4 that you don't know about yet, but it's traumatizing for me.
Oh god.
Aaron sees all the future because obviously Historia has royal blood.
Yeah. And I thought so too when he was like, wait. I was like, wait, she has royal blood and he's about to make contact with her.
He sees everything. And then we get to the exploration unit where they're like going outside of Walrose, and there's hardly any Titans. I think they only encounter one.
Yeah, they encounter one that seems like it had been moving, but at very, very, very slow pace, or maybe like stopped moving at that point because like the track that he left behind, there was already trees growing.
Yeah. So basically, they had just annihilated every Titan outside of there.
Yeah, all the Titans were gone.
And they make it to the sea.
So they get to the ocean and or the sea, and they're all just kind of like chilling on the sea.
They're like, wow, we made it. And he's like,
Yeah.
Here, Aaron, look at this tea show, everything we ever dreamed of. And then we have a scene of depressed Aaron.
Yeah.
Emo Aaron looking out.
Aaron is just like no emotion.
He points out further into the sea. What does he say?
He says something around the lines of like, if we kill all the enemies, like passing the sea, they must be our enemies. If we kill them, will this finally end?
And you don't know how hard that is. You don't know how much weight those words carry.
Oh no.
It is. Oh gosh.
Oh no.
And that's where the season ends.
Yeah. It cuts off. That's it. Oh. Season 3.
Oh gosh, you're not ready for season 4.
I know I'm not. Obviously you've kind of mentioned a lot about season 4, and also my brother-in-law told me, because he was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm not gonna spoil it." I'm like, I don't care about spoilers because like low key in the moment, I'm like I need to watch it for myself. Like you can tell me what's happening, but and he was like, he specifically told me, he's like, "Who's the main character?" I was like, "Aaron." He's like, "What is his intentions?" I was like, "Oh, he's like protecting humanity." And he's like, "Yeah, that changes." He was like, "That switches up." And I was like, so I'm ready for season 4, but season 4 has 30 episodes, so I can't binge watch that in one day.
We can start watching it whenever we get off.
But yeah, I'm ready for season 4.
I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm gonna shut up now.
Okay, you don't know anything about it. You don't know what happened right now, at this moment right now.
My eyes tell you otherwise.
Your whole facial expression is like,
Oh gosh, that was episode 8
of Let's Get Tipsy. Oh my god, I'm so ready for season 4. Also, holidays are coming up.
They are. This was supposed to be a Thanksgiving episode, but we don't even know anymore.
Honestly, we lost track.
We're so ahead.
We miscalculated.
Yeah, I think we're recording a month ahead.
We are, but we missed a week, I think.
Yeah, that or we counted wrong. Anyway, if it's Thanksgiving week, happy Thanksgiving. If Thanksgiving week is next week for the ones that are watching, happy Thanksgiving for the next week, I guess. But
yeah. But if you enjoyed our content, as always, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Let's Get Tipsy Podcast.
And you can follow us on YouTube and Twitter at Let's Get Tipsy Pod.
Yes.
You can follow us individually at
Fernando M643 and at
Lovely Priscilla with 2 eyes. On pretty much everything.
And as always, everything is linked down below wherever you're listening, whenever you're watching. Everything is linked. I mean, nowadays you can find it anywhere if you really want to. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to or not.
But yeah, this was fun.
We're gonna start season 4 in a second.
Yeah. So the final. I'm kind of sad though.
We're probably gonna have to divide it into multiple episodes.
Okay, so the final seasons are coming up. It might be part 1, part 2, but like the final seasons is coming up. So yeah,
we hope you enjoyed.
Thanks for watching.
Thank y'all.
Bye.